Ladies and gentlemen, I am a virgin. An alien virgin. Yes, it's terrible, okay? I haven't seen any of the Alien films, okay? Stop shouting at me. Guys, come on now. I love horror. I can't believe it hasn't happened sooner. It's a big fan base. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to it. Okay, I've never watched it, okay? Look, I'm excited. I'm going out of my way to watch it now so I can document my experience for you guys. So these films are considered gospel to a lot of people, and I've been sat on the sidelines, twiddling my thumbs, watching Ghibli films and eating bran flakes. The most mediocre of flakes. But today, everything changes. This is my initiation. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on the film. Let's go. I want the whole experience, so I'm gonna wait for nighttime. Okay everyone, I'm back. I watched the film yesterday and it was a really interesting experience. Okay, I need to talk about this. So the movie starts with the crew of the Nostromo, your average run-of-the-mill space truckers, and they kind of get woken up. The reflections in the helmets are so sick, like that looks so cool. I'm already like so excited. The cinematography is like top notch. I mean, when you get like nice set design, you can just see they care, you know? It's such a simple thing, but like, you can tell there's actual intention behind this. So it's pretty obvious that this crew has traveled for a ridiculously long amount of time and a ridiculous distance out into the far reaches of space. So, you know, you as a viewer, you're kind of aware that there is literally no one that can help them if something goes wrong. I really like this because originally I thought that the crew of the Nostromo were going to be scientists or soldiers or military or whatever. The fact that they're just normal people.
We're just normal men.
You know, just normal working people just going out to do a job and then go home. It makes it that much more relatable.
We're just innocent men.
These people have zero expectations of what's about to happen to them. When I was watching, I was like, no one knows what's going on. How are they going to deal with this? I mean, that's one of the best parts of horror is the unknown, you know? We kind of fear what we don't understand. Love it. There's like so much detail and like texture on all the ships. I imagine they used miniatures, right? As far as I'm aware, they used miniatures on like most things back in the day. Just get so much detail on them. They go into the planet. Is this where they find something a bit questionable? I think they might. So obviously things do not go as planned. So the signal comes in and the crew of the Nostromo go to this planet which you have no idea what you're going to expect, and then, well, hey guys, let's go and check out this signal, shall we? You know, in this terrifying planet. That's always a great idea. You can definitely see like the influence 2001 had, like A Space Odyssey had over these types of shots. You've got this blend of retro tech and then you've got kind of minimalism as well. Like you've got like 2-3 tone color palettes. It looks sick. They've definitely shot this with anamorphics. It just gives you that nice lens for that. Or like at least most of this was shot on anamorphic. This probably did a lot for the sci-fi genre just in terms of like cinematography. Me and the boys exploring the planet. This reminds me of what's that game called? Lethal Company. Do you think this whole scene just inspired the premise of Lethal Company? So of course the facehugger jumps out of the egg, latches onto Kane's face. Yeah. So I'm actually like editing this right now, and I didn't realize this before, but for the scenes when they actually go to the alien planet, they actually shot this with children to make the set look bigger. That's like actually insane. That's so clever. I would have never considered that being a thing. It was just genius, but yeah, I just thought I'd throw that in. I've just found that out. Let's talk about the atmosphere of this movie, because that was one of the things that really grabbed me from the start. I'm a sucker for atmosphere. I like it when a movie takes its time, not like in a ridiculous amount of time to the point where it just gets boring, but if it's going to be slow-paced at the start, there needs to be a good reason for that, and the setup for Alien was like amazing. It shows you the world, it shows you the technology. I feel like older films and older media, they like try to take their time a lot more as opposed to newer stuff which just tries to grab your attention immediately. Other good examples like this of creating this atmosphere can be like The Shining, Suspiria, The Little Panda Fighter.
My essence? Oh, he must be talking about my cologne. Are you nuts?
Yeah, this scene's iconic, right? Like, I know of it. Okay, I feel like you can't go through life without knowing of this scene at least. Like, there's just... oh my god. It's so slimy. I see this and I can't help but think of Spaceballs. Just that one scene in Spaceballs.
Oh no, not again.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me.
Alien just absolutely nails this. An underrated thing I really liked was just how crusty the Nostromo was. Like, you get sci-fi ships and like Star Trek, and they look really sleek and shiny. You know, it's modern, they're reliable. The Nostromo looks like it's about to fall to pieces at a moment's notice. It's dark. It's grimy, it's claustrophobic, and I just love it. Yeah, I love how old it is. I remember the sound design was like really cool too. That kind of brought me in. There was like weird humming everywhere, the little retro beeps, the little systems. A lot of people would just call it retro sound. Obviously, it's 70s sound bites. The fact that they're using 70s aesthetic technology in a time. Actually, what year was this? 2122 CE. Okay. Well, they like their retro tech. So when I was watching it, I really came to like the set design and the style of everything. And then I saw the name come up on the credits, H.R. Giger. I looked up some of Giger's artwork and how this has translated from just concept art into the film was like amazing. I mean, some of this artwork is really creepy. It's like a mix of metallic organism stuff. H.R. Giger. H.R. Giger. That is mental. Yeah, some of this stuff is oh my god. I found Ridley Scott just throws you into this like industrial nightmare where you think anything can go wrong at any second, whether it be an alien or an unreliable spaceship or a questionable android. He had me thinking that the cat was the villain of the story at one point. The xenomorph is terrifying, and I think the concept of it is as genius as it is dark. You barely see it throughout the entirety of the film, and that definitely adds to the scary factor of it, but there's another thing about it which made me feel way more uncomfortable, and it's something I kind of ended up reading between the lines a little bit. Beyond its obvious design choice and like blatant intelligence, like this is a smart creature. It does make you feel a bit uncomfortable, just like the face hugger there. It's like, it's such a creepy idea. It's like really violating. It's kind of like, yeah, I don't know, it's uncomfortable. I found the xenomorph was so frightening because of its invasive nature. When it comes to the xenomorph and Giger's artwork, there seems to be slight negative undertones to the nature of the alien itself. Or at least in its face hugger stage. I guess people call that the embryo stage. I don't know, like alien fans are gonna have to let me know, okay? It gets pretty egregious when you study Giger's work because there are some questionable things which lead towards sexual undertones, and there is a lot of imagery of that in Giger's concept, and that does carry over into how the alien works. Or maybe not sexual, but kind of bodily violation. It's pretty bad stuff. The xenomorph's methods of hatching is gruesome, and it can be psychologically taxing the more you think about the connotations of it. Yeah, so I ended up finding a lot about this stuff like after watching the film because I kind of read into the lines of this and I wanted to make sure I was reading into the right lines, and unfortunately I was. It's a horrific concept, but partially it's also why the alien is such a brilliantly genius creature. It's such an excellent design choice for a horror entity. I definitely get why it's so well renowned. There's a lot of things to the xenomorph, and every single thing makes it terrifying. What is anyone gonna do in this situation? Like, for real, like, I mean, Ripley got off pretty lucky considering. She even saved the cat, which fair play. I think the cat's up to something. I reckon there's gonna be like some point in the film where the cat like screws someone over and they get killed because of the cat. It's got to have some point, otherwise it's like, you know, why is it there? Alright, you're stuck on a spaceship, you're in the middle of nowhere, you know, the void of space, which, to be fair, by the way, is Like, what a great choice that was. Like, what a fantastic setting for a horror film. A lot of horrors will have, like, neighborhoods or a haunted house, you know, something quite wide open, and then you have this claustrophobic piece of junk. Like, to have it in a spaceship was a stroke of genius, and it's such a simple idea, but you can't go anywhere. There's nowhere to run. Good horror media should use everything in their arsenal to scare us, whether it be sound design, the monster itself, the location, literally everything to terrify their audience. Another great example of restricting these locations is on Nightmare on Elm Street. Works in a slightly different way, but because it's inside of a dream, and that dream is, I say dream, nightmare, and that is controlled by Freddy Krueger, you start to understand that the victim doesn't really have anywhere to run to. Or even in Resident Evil games, when you have really tight spaces to just annoy you as much as possible.
Something tells me he's not a cop.
I'll be playing like RE2 and then Mr. X just runs around the corner and I'm like, just go away, man. Just leave me alone. Just give me a day off, like, come on. Sigourney Weaver is amazing alongside the entire cast of the film because they are just put into this situation and they don't really know what to do about it. Even Ash, who I really enjoyed, and I mean, I didn't know he was an android until when that happened. Ash is throwing her. What's with his strength? Nah, this dude is strong. Okay, what is going on? He rolled up a newspaper. Oh my god. Holy shit. Nah, kill Ash, man. Kill him. He's gone. He's a detriment to this ship. That makes sense. He's a fucking android. Of course, that actually makes sense. Like, I've played Alien Isolation and I swear their eyes were like yellow. Were they yellow or like blue? Maybe he's like a higher end model. He's a
I can't lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathies.
That is such a cold line though. That is so cold. You can have my sympathies. Anyway, Sigourney Weaver is just fantastic in this film, and I think she's definitely one of the pioneers of female horror movie protagonists to live to tell the tale. I say pioneered, I mean Sigourney was definitely one of the most popular to have done this and to have created this wave of really awesome female characters in horror films. Not to say we didn't have them before Alien, I mean I literally made a video about Suspiria. Sigourney's character Ripley was just awesome to watch. They're so entertaining and they kind of tell everyone to just shut up and crack on with the mission. And I mean, it's just refreshing. I mean, my ears are still ringing from watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre all those years ago, and that film is just 90% screaming. They don't stop screaming.
Stop screaming! Stop!
So what I wanted to do with all of this is watch the film in the context of it being made in the 70s, and it did a fantastic job at remaining timeless to this day because of the idea, because it's such a brilliantly written story. Clearly Alien didn't just scare the hell out of everyone in 1979 and beyond that, it basically redefined sci-fi and horror. Films like The Thing, The Terminator, shows like Stranger Things, they owe so much to Ridley Scott. Alien's mix of suspense, horror, and sci-fi, it's made it one of those movies that everyone in Hollywood saw and went, okay, we need to do something like that. We need more of that because people clearly resonate with it. And they never do it as well. It's just regurgitated Hollywood garbage. I swear if the alien has like latched itself onto the cat or something and then the cat's gonna turn into some like, I don't know, some Lovecraftian horror entity, then okay, that'll be a bit annoying. Not for me, just for them, you know, it's just a slight inconvenience. The practical effects still look amazing, the horror gets under your skin, the cinematography is beautiful, the sound design is amazing, and Ripley is still one of the best characters in horror cinema history. I've only seen her once, but she's made a great impact on me. He's just swinging in space, oh my god. Bro's just got incinerated by the jets. That is such a good kill. That's such a cool idea. Like, what a way to absolutely demolish a monster. Bro's just flying. He's flying off into the void. Beyond all of this, I think it's so cool that she just stuck to the plan and just fired him away. What impressed me beyond everything was how such a complex idea was so simply executed. I feel like there wasn't a wasted moment. There was amazing suspense, a great build-up, and at every second, I just feel like it was intentional. Like everything feels like it's done with a purpose, which is what good films should do. It's a staple of them. I think something which warrants people coming back to watch this film, which clearly a lot of people do, beyond just it being a horror classic, obviously, is the amount of detail that is etched into everything. I'm talking about like the details in the spacesuits and the walls and like, I guess like the alien world they go to. I still don't know anything about that, so I'm gonna have to find out about that. There's a lot of lore here. I think that's what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of detail in the small things, and I haven't just been given everything in expositional dialogue. I think the audience has been told, look at all these different etchings and all the details, and look at this set design, kind of figure it out for yourself. Figure out what this world is by yourself. I need to find out more. I really want to find out more about this universe, so I will watch the next films and we'll see how that goes. But for now, thank you so much for watching this video. Take care and subscribe.